If all women were brutally honest for 24 hours, what would men be shocked to learn? You're not competing with other men. You're being compared with my couch, TV, books, pets, clean house, hobbies, etc. I'm not dating someone if they make my life more stressful and add work for me. This made me laugh out loud. It's so true. I love my partner, but when I daydream, as we all do, it's for that untethered feeling, not other people. I relate to this so much. The only person they ever have to compete with is the alone time I have with myself, and she's going to win the majority of the time. Treating women as equals is more nuanced than many men think. We notice when a man does it with intention and sincerity. Yes, also it is more of a mindset than really an act. I don't want grandiose gestures and words of how women are great, equal, etc., etc. As slowly your mindset will unveil itself and we would know. Yeah, my husband isn't loud about his views, but he just feels safe. He's a cook and the servers are open about going to him because they know he won't treat them like shit or try to get in their pants. Some of them are 19 out of 20 and getting hit on my 30 out of 40-year-olds. My husband came home beaming one day because the older lead server told him, "Sorry, we're always asking you for things, but the girls all feel safest with you." How two women can rate the same man a 1 out of 10 and 10 out of 10. Preferences vary extremely wildly and you'll never know what someone's into. To be fair, this is likely as true the other way around too. I'll take this over being a 5 to 6 to everybody. I'll marry the one who thinks I'm a 10 and the other one can look elsewhere. ETA. Neither I nor the person to whom I am responding said anything about looks specifically. Yay, and being attractive physically isn't rare. I remember having a conversation with a friend, and I was telling her that I find Ana de Armas extremely attractive, and she wouldn't believe me because she said that she knew a lot of girls that looked similar. Well, no shit. Being physically attractive isn't rare. Any fit girl that dresses well is likely very attractive. Even more so if she stars in a movie that requires her to flaunt her looks, and has like 20 people around her, producing ways for her to look her best. How much our attraction to you is mental, not physical? As someone who has been asked by multiple coworkers how I got with my wife, I 100% believe this. I don't believe in leagues when it comes to relationships, but my wife is way more attractive than I. It's interesting to see how dudes act if you're with someone they think is out of your league. Dudes get mad. Regular dudes, young dudes, old dudes. People think there's just a percentage of dudes that can't get laid that are toxic. But the biggest group is dudes that can find exactly one person that wants to sleep with them, and they're almost just as bad. This is so true. I once dated a really traditionally hot girl, and guys would just hit on her in front of me. It was fun watching them crash and burn. This is only in a setting where it's possible to interact with someone long enough to be swayed by their intellect and personality. But as a former fat dude, I 100% get treated differently by women in initial interactions based on physical appearance. Chubby girl here, and I can totally see that. Sadly, when I was heavier, I found a lot of dudes never bothered to try to interact with me at all, LMAO. My weight's changed a lot over the years, and it's shocking to see the difference even 10 to 15 pounds can make in how people treat you, even in a purely platonic or professional context. Whenever I lose any weight, people are suddenly just nicer to me, and it really pisses me off TBH. If every woman would say it outright when it's happening, men would be really surprised how often they are making the women they interact with uncomfortable. Yes, I was thinking how many guys would be surprised women are only being polite to them because they're worried they'll react badly if they say what they actually think, or they're just trying to get something done without drama, they're not actually looking to date you or flirting or whatever. True, also, just because a girl is talking to you politely and nicely doesn't mean she likes you. That's how you are supposed to be. Nice and polite. People can be nice and polite to other people without any romantic intentions. You cannot assume that she is into you and you're some kind of stud. It's happened with me so many times that men are helpful, nice to me initially, then approach me later, and if I refuse, they get so salty and mean. The reason her friend keeps getting in the way of you talking to her at the bar, it's because she asked her to, and if she didn't want the friend to do that, she'd just make her stop and talk to you anyway. And the fat, jealous friend that is cock-blocking you is actually neither fat nor jealous. She is just a good friend, and you are a petty child. Well, it depends if the men actually believe us, but I think if they did, they'd be shocked how many of us go about our business in significant amounts of pain every day. For example, I'm on day 2 of my period, and my abdomen hurts so bad right now I want to shit my brains out and throw up at the same time. I'm still going to the laundromat with 70 pounds of clothes after my shift. ETA. This isn't just about periods. That was just my example because I'm currently experiencing it. Women are more likely to experience chronic illness than men. It just so happens that a lot of these chronic pain disorders are gynecologically specific. 90% of all patients with fibromyalgia and 90% of patients with lupus are women. Women also have a higher prevalence of osteoporosis, arthritis, EDS, POTS, and so many more conditions. My example is due to my retroverted uterus putting extreme pressure on my rectum while cramping, and I didn't explain that far because I felt I didn't need to. As someone with chronic headaches, I feel for you. Any kind of persistent pain or discomfort's the absolute fucking worst, and just having to keep going about your day like nothing's wrong can make you actively pissed off at the people around you because they don't know you feel like shit. I feel that there is nothing to say that would make a difference. Women already say so much every day, but a lot of men just don't want to believe them. There was a protest in the Netherlands the other day along the lines of "Take back the night" after a series of violent attacks on women. One of them was a 17-year-old who was murdered biking back home. In many cities, large groups of women and supporting men biked around town on fully lit bikes to protest not being able to safely go out alone at night. The day after, news came out that women got groped, booed, and blocked during the protest. It's baffling. Please just do some f***ing housework. You not doing housework makes me not want to have sex with you. I can't imagine being sexually attracted to someone who isn't competent, and being able to clean your own living space without direction from others is one of the lowest bars for competence. Don't even get me started about men who can't maintain their hygiene. A lot of your moms and grandmas hated the men they were married to, and would have left them if they had the choice. They also hated doing housework and cooking, and pretended to love it to the men in their lives, including their sons. My grandma was pretty explicit and loud about hating my grandpa. She told me when I was 11 and spent the rest of her life telling me to never depend financially on a man, and if I could, to avoid marriage altogether. That, getting a random in their inbox, actually doesn't turn them on. Shocking, I know. I feel like that's not a very big secret, though. Yeah, I think a lot of guys who send them do because they know very well that the woman doesn't want a random dick pic. Just like the flasher in the park knows you don't want to see his bits while out walking the dog or whatever. How many of their female friends have been assaulted? I once had a guy argue with me about how common sexual assault is. He insisted that he knew a lot of women, including his mother and sisters, and none of them had ever been sexually assaulted, so he thinks statistics are completely exaggerated. He refused to accept that was more about women not feeling safe enough to tell him than any reflection of reality. We don't need you in our lives in order to survive anymore. It's not the 1950s. You actually need a decent personality in order to get a relationship, and actually need to contribute to said relationship if you want to stay in it. Going to work and coming home, sitting on your ass while she has a job, looks after the kids and cleans up after you won't work anymore. Sometimes it's easier to be a single mother than to be in a shitty relationship with kids in the mix. In fact, most of the time it's better for her to lose a man-child so she can focus on her actual kids. That's it for today. Comment down below on what you think about this video.